At the Okoli Law Group, we specialize in producing justice. If you or a loved one in the Atlanta metro area is facing serious criminal charges, then you need serious legal representation.
The Okoli Law Group is here for you. The Okoli Law Group is here for us.
The Okoli Law Group, serious legal representation.
Peace, fam. We are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining. It really means a lot. You know, I love you guys. You know, I love you all. Quick disclaimer, then we'll get into a couple of announcements. Then we'll jump into today's topic. Listen, we are not going to agree on everything. Again, we are not going to agree on everything. All right, I'm for difference in thought, difference of opinion, diversity of thought, diversity of opinion. So, you know, everybody's welcome to call in and add to the conversation and give your opinion. But let's be respectful. I know sometimes tempers can flare a little bit, you know, so let's be respectful. But I don't want this to be a echo chamber of, you know, whatever my values are or my thoughts, you know, you guys got to roll with that. And if you come on here and disagree with me, you can't come on and I'm gonna ban you and kick you off like a lot of other platforms do. A lot of other platforms, if you disagree with them, they're gonna try to run you off the platform. So we don't do that here. Love to hear from everybody. Love to hear everyone's opinion. And yeah, let's jump into it. So got a couple of announcements. Announcement number one, we are rolling to Nigeria. We are rolling to Nigeria. We're leaving next Sunday. Man, funny how time flies. We're leaving next Sunday. So we are rolling to Nigeria next Sunday, August 4th through the 13th. Listen, if you're a last minute person, if you are a last minute person, if you want to roll, I got a spot for you. Please visit donfo.africa. Also, we're rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. That's January 3rd through the 12th. Again, that is January 3rd through the 12th. Shout out to Afro Heaven 7. January 3rd through the 12th, we're rolling to Benin Republic for the Voodoo Festival. We are also rolling to Sierra Leone. That's going to be April 20th to the 29th. Then we're going to Senegal for the Jazz Festival. That's going to be June 1st to the 10th. And then back to Nigeria next year, 2025. That's going to be August 3rd through the 12th. So if you're interested in joining us, please visit donfo.africa. Again, please visit donfo.africa. We will love to have you all and to host you guys. Again, that's donfo, DANFO .africa to learn more. Without further ado, let's jump into today's topic. Someone sent this to me today. Go ahead and pull this up real quick. And I posted it on my Facebook timeline, and also I posted it on my Instagram timeline or feed. And, you know, and of course, there are people who disagree with me, and that's fine. That's completely fine. Why Kenya should support Donald Trump. And I've told people this in the past. My African friends on the continent have told me that when Republicans are in office, it's overall, as far as you know, this U.S. Africa relationship, he said it's always been better when Republicans are in office. And to give you an example, look at what Obama did to Libya. I don't think any president wants to see Africa unite. That has nothing. That's a completely different topic. But what we have to realize, and this is the reality as an adult, as of right now, African countries are going to have diplomatic relationships with America. Period. Until the day that African countries decide to pull Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger and kick like they did France, kick America out. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. So for right now, African countries are gonna have a diplomatic relationship with America. So the question is, what's more beneficial as far as this relationship? Is it better to is it this relationship more? Is it better when Democrats are in office or when Republicans are in office? And I've always said when Republicans are in office, but people get in their feelings. Case in point, Libya. The argument is always, Dianus, will Donald Trump call African countries a shithole? Excuse my language. And my response has always been, well, give me Donald Trump's Libya. And that and people they choose to be willfully ignorant and play stupid or make excuses and deflect when it comes to that. Give me Donald Trump's Libya. Give me Donald Trump's, let's go into the press conference like Barack Obama, which I'll play, and make an excuse to take out an African leader, destabilize an African country, which destabilize armed terrorists in the Sahel, to take out an African country, destabilize an entire region called the Sahel, and then be like, oops, my bad. Give me an example of when Donald Trump did that. That's why when people always bring up this whole shithole country argument, I'm always like, well, again, give me Trump's Libya. You can't. Trump does not care about Africa. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I don't want Trump to care about Africa because I want Trump as least as possible involved or engaging Africa as least as possible. So I'm not mad if he doesn't care about Africa. That's a good thing. I don't want him involved. I want the U.S. involved in Africa as less as possible. But let me pull up, first of all, let's pull up our boy Obama. Man, this is 13 years ago. You don't have to care.
Good afternoon, everybody. Today, I authorized the Armed Forces of the United States to begin a limited military action in Libya in support of an international effort to protect Libyan civilians. That action has now begun. In this effort, the United States is acting with a broad coalition that is committed to enforcing United Nations Security Council Resolution 1973, which calls for the protection of the Libyan people. That coalition met in Paris today to send a unified message, and it brings together many of our European and Arab partners. This is not an outcome that the United States or any of our partners sought. Even yesterday, the international community offered Muammar Gaddafi the opportunity to pursue an immediate ceasefire, one that stopped the violence against civilians and the advances of Gaddafi's forces. But despite the hollow words of his government, he has ignored that opportunity. His attacks on his own people have continued. His forces have been on the move, and the danger faced by the people of Libya has grown. I am deeply aware of the risks of any military action, no matter what limits we place on it. I want the American people to know that the use of force is not our first choice, and it's not a choice that I make lightly. But we cannot stand idly by when a tyrant tells his people that there will be no mercy, and his forces step up their assaults on cities like Benghazi and Misrata, where innocent men and women face brutality and death at the hands of their own government. So we must be clear. Actions have consequences, and the writ of the international community must be enforced. That is the cause of this coalition. As a part of this effort, the United States will contribute our unique capabilities at the front end of the mission to protect Libyan civilians and to enable the enforcement of a no-fly zone that will be led by our international partners. And as I said yesterday, we will not, I repeat, we will not deploy any U.S. troops on the ground. As Commander-in-Chief, I have great confidence in the men and women of our military who will carry out this mission. They carry with them the respect of a grateful nation. I'm also proud that we are acting as part of a coalition that includes close allies and partners who are prepared to meet their responsibility to protect the people of Libya and uphold the mandate of the international community. I've acted after consulting with my national security team and Republican and Democratic leaders of Congress. And in the coming hours and days, my administration will keep the American people fully informed. But make no mistake, today we are part of a broad coalition. We are answering the calls of a threatened people, and we are acting in the interests of the United States and the world. Thank you very much.
There it is.
Tonight.
There it is. There it is. There it is. But yeah, let me read this article. And the actual article has a paywall, so I was able to get like a screenshot of it. So let me pull this up real quick. Here we go. Why Kenya should support Donald Trump. The following are frequently asked questions on current U.S. presidential elections and why it suits Kenyan interests to support Donald Trump's re-election. Why should U.S. elections matter to Kenya? Ideally, they should not matter. U.S. is a sovereign country with its own priorities and decisions. One might think U.S. is so important to Kenya's economic trajectory, but incidentally, other countries matter more. We trade more with our neighbors like Uganda and Tanzania than the U.S. Trouble in the Middle East should concern us more than U.S. elections, since our most important export tea is sold here. Sanctions of Iran or Tahrir Square revolution in Egypt or the jailing of former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan should be making headlines in Kenya, as these events can disrupt our economy more tragically. But on the other hand, practically, they matter. We share democratic values with the U.S., and hence their elections offer important political lessons. U.S. exercises soft power as described by Professor Joseph Nye, which transfuses American norms in the entire world. Kenya included their music. That is why news of Biden stepping down found itself on our news screens. As they say, no man is an island, no man stands alone. U.S. president's policies will diffuse and impact Kenya in one way or another. U.S. hosts one of the largest and richest Kenyan diaspora, where remittances now exceed our most important exports. Between the Republican Party, Donald Trump, and Democratic parties, Kamala Harris, whom do you think is supported by a majority of Kenyans? Best way to answer this question would be to rely on a credible opinion poll results on Kenyans on their preference. None so far has been done. But based on anecdotal evidence and upon scanning around social media, and I might be wrong, I suspect majority of Kenyans support Kamala Harris, possibly for several reasons. First, Democratic Party has an image of being the party of diversity. That sits well with international audiences like Kenya. It is the party that produced first Black American president, the party of Barack Obama and Kamala Harris. In contrast, Republican Party has a racist white supremacy image. Second, Democratic Party is viewed as being soft on immigration. This sends a signal to Kenyans that their relatives in the U.S. are safer under Democratic rule. 3, Kenyan public views aside, which of the two, Trump or Harris, should be supported by Kenyans? Republican Party, and thus in this case, Donald Trump, and for obvious reasons. First, the key consideration when people make an electoral decision should always be policies. What social and economic policies candidate stands for. Views on taxation. You guys still with me? I'm not on that screen. Okay. First, key consideration when people make an electoral decision should always be policies. What social and economic policies candidate stands for? Views on taxation, role of government and economy, views on trade, family views. But often, this is not always the case in politics. Often people tend to vote based on identity politics. Supporting Democratic Party for fronting a half-Black candidate is identity politics. Often leaders who obtain office based on Mitu Wetu philosophy tend to underperform. A keen analysis of historical policies of the two American parties should show Republican Party's policies are more aligned with African lived reality. Let me repeat that. A keen analysis of historical policies of the two American parties show Republican Party's policies are more aligned with African lived reality. And this is what Africans were telling me on the ground for the longest. It is the Republican Party that fought for abolition of slavery and went to war for that. The Republican policies lean strongly for the protection of the family unit, unlike Democratic Party. Facts. Blacks in the U.S. have the highest rate of non-marital births at 73%. By contrast, U.S. Asian families have the strongest families. The flip side is there is a strong correlation between strong families and prosperous children. In her book, Two-Parent Privilege, How Americans Stopped Getting Married and Started Falling Behind, Melissa S. Kearney makes a case for marriage by showing how decline in marriage leads to a host of economic woes. When two adults marry, they confer among themselves and their children a host of economic benefits, behavioral and educational outcomes. The instability of Black families in the U.S. and thus their low economic fortunes might be exacerbated by Democratic Party's social liberal policies. Kenyans and by extension Africans being pro-family should thus lean Republican. Kenyans and by extension Africans being pro-family should thus lean Republican. Let me repeat that again. Kenyans and by extension Africans being pro-family should thus lean Republican. Finally, Republicans are the party of trade and better humanitarianism, as opposed to Democratic Party freebies. Kenya will never develop on account of Western countries' donations. American presidents from the Democratic Party tend to increase support to African institutions that give free things. Well, that is good because something is better than nothing, but Republican support tends to be more solid. The African Growth and Opportunity Act was introduced in U.S. Congress by Republican Phil Crane. Kenya is the third African country, and that's AGOA. Kenya is the third African country to best leverage on that law, having exported goods worth $523 million. In humanitarianism, Republican Party President George Bush's emergency plan for AIDS relief helped save more than 13 million lives in Africa. Before his departure in 2020, President Trump had announced the intent to negotiate the first of its kind regional trade agreement with Kenya. Such trade agreements have tended to benefit poorer countries more. Therefore, Democratic Party is all pomp and color, nothing substantive to make Kenya move ahead. On the issue of immigration, data seems to suggest Democrats are more harder on illegal immigrants than Republicans. Well, that's why Obama was called the deporter in chief. And he built the cages. Notwithstanding the rhetoric, Obama removed 2.5 million persons from the U.S. Trump removed fewer. Preferences aside, between Trump and Harris, who has the highest chance of winning, credible opinion firms like Reuters, Economist, and CNN place Trump ahead at now. But I'm placing my bet on Professor Alan Lichtman. He has perfectly predicted all U.S. elections since 1980s. He wrote a book, 13 Keys to the White House. He uses a 13-point checklist that assesses political situations of U.S. when 5 or fewer of the items are false. I can't read that part. Wins and vice versa. He argues voters are not gullible. They vote according to how well the country is governed. Now, the thing with Alan Lichtman, his 13 keys in the way he predicts elections, there a lot of those keys are null and void now because Biden is no longer running, and now it's Kamala. So now he's shuffling now because he can't really apply his 13 keys to Kamala Harris as Biden dropped out. They vote according to how well country is governed, and campaigns do not matter. Campaigns and polls are merely entertainment. He is yet to call the elections. Right. He can't call it yet because he can't use the keys. So what do you guys? Well, we're gonna say under Obama, but under Biden has been a complete disaster. We're gonna say Obama was harder, but under Biden, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Not Obama. Not under Biden. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So links in the chat room. Listen, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. Link is in the chat room. Link is in the that's fine. I don't want Trump in Africa either. Do you guys want Kamala Harris in Africa? Do you guys want Kamala Harris in Africa? Again, do you guys want Kamala Harris in Africa? Go ahead, Elvis.
All right, Dinus, thank you. Look, I think when people talk about Gaddafi in Libya, I always get angry because Gaddafi did more harm in Africa. He sponsored a lot of military groups that went into nations and killed a lot of people.
You talking
When
about
you look,
you talking about him sponsoring Charles Taylor?
not just Charles Taylor, but when you look at Angola with Jonas Savimbi and UNITA, what happened in Angola was terrible. When you look at SWAPO, what happened in Namibia and other countries was terrible. When you look at Sierra Leone with Foday Sanko and his RUF, that was terrible. He funded a lot of these armed groups.
Actually, he funded Charles Taylor, then Charles Taylor indirectly funded RUF, right?
No, the leader, Charles Taylor, met the RUF leadership in Libya. That's how they got acquainted with each other. So they were already there when Charles Taylor went there and met them there. So he hosted a lot of these armed groups that went into their nation and brought carnage with them. So Gaddafi, as a African, he did a lot of harm. A lot of people died indirectly from his sponsorship from these different rebel groups. So I don't think he was an African liberator. Most of the things he was doing was trying to do a proxy, a warfare against the United States and the West. He also was a terrorist. The Lockerbie bombing, where he had to pay billions of dollars in reparations to those families. He admitted
What bombing?
Lockerbie. There was an aircraft that was bombed, and Libya was responsible for the bombing of that aircraft that killed, I think, a few hundred people. So the guy was no hero of Africa. He's no hero of mine. And I think his people rose up against him because he was a dictator.
No.
Right on, Elvis. Right on. That's why I came in here to support what you're saying. Because if you just come in here and tell people that fact, it seems like they just oblivious to it. Like, this guy is no hero. He is a terrorist, man. And he's a dictator. He's a terrorist. He was not good for Africa in any way. And you guys praising him like he's the best thing after bread and butter.
How's Libya now?
It is terrible now, but
Okay.
they're gonna find their way.
Oh, okay, right. They'll find a way. Okay.
I mean, Dinus, there's always going to be some semblance of
like
order.
how's Iraq? How's Libya? Everywhere Team America World Police goes, what happens?
Oh, Dinus.
Look, Dinus, I'll let you go, Ola, because I have a lot to say, but I'll let you go, bro.
Oh, Dinus. Okay, America did what they did. Okay, they go whatever they take their democracy, it's always trouble at the end. But do not forget the fact that even before America went to Libya, and even after America went to Libya, you know what could have happened in Libya if America didn't go there? We could have had another Rwanda on our hands, and then you'll be shouting Why didn't America do anything about
I,
it?
I wouldn't have, because even when America didn't get involved with Rwanda, I never said where was America. I think Africa should handle its own problems internally.
But you know what? If we have had another Rwanda in Libya, what would you have said? If
I wouldn't have said anything. I would have said it's unfortunate, it's terrible, but I don't agree with Western intervention at all.
no, but okay, in Rwanda,
Mhm.
when Rwanda happened, what was the whole world saying?
I don't care what the world was saying, but I don't believe in Western intervention. I think
But
Africa has its own problem.
should Rwanda have happened? Why the world watches? Should Rwanda have happened? Why the whole world watches?
Again, I don't agree with. See, this is the problem I have with Africans like yourself. We complain about how the West meddles in African affairs, i.e., assassination of Patrice Lumumba, CIA, how assassination of Thomas Sankara, the CIA's role it played in the coup of the president of Ghana, who's Kwame Nkrumah. But then you guys want to support Western intervention. It's weird.
I do not support Western intervention.
So what do you support it?
But when you have a situation like Rwanda, should we just sit down and watch why people got massacred in Rwanda?
Are there not 53 other African countries
that can do what?
Get involved.
Get involved? Did that?
But just listen to what you're saying, Ola. It just we sound so weak as Africans because we want the West to intervene. Like
no. If I am weak, I will be gladly weak in the side of people that are being massacred. If you come in weak because I don't want people to be massacred, go right head on. I want to be weak because I don't want people to be massacred.
I do not agree with Western intervention. So we have two options: either we want at Western intervention or we don't.
Okay, we don't want Western intervention.
Say that to the people who were saved by Americans coming in. Say that to the people who was saved from being slaughtered by their own governments, Diners. Yes, the United States is a mixed bag, but they've done some good in the world.
Either we want. Okay, I could say this: if it wasn't for the West assassinating Patrice Lumumba, which was one of the biggest assassinations ever in the most important assassinations in the most pivotal assassinations in the 20th century, I would say more pivotal than when JFK was assassinated, there probably would have been a Rwanda.
Yes, they did that. They did, assassinate some people. But, when it comes to the little people in Rwanda that were getting killed. So you want to be like, oh, hands off, because we don't want to get involved, because they said we should not get involved. Let's just open our eyes and let these people get killed because we want to. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It does. We don't want the West. We can do two things at a time.
No, you can't. No. See, this thing. You cannot expect the West to be benevolent. There's a price to pay, and you guys don't understand that.
No.
I understand that, Diners. I understand that.
There's nothing free.
Diners, you are setting a rule to this game that does not apply. The West does not play by any rules. So why should we play by any rules? They want to come and intervene. Let them come and intervene. When we don't want them, we don't want them.
Hold on, let me say this.
It doesn't work like that. Like you either want them or you don't. Period. There's
No. That's your own rule. We will not play by
Ola, let me say this, please. Look, it's about strategic interest. If you're a character who's going against American, strategic interest or the West, strategic interest, and you openly voice it and you say that you're going to go against that interest, they're going to retaliate. They're going to retaliate. They're not your friend. They're not your daddy. They're not there to give you a helping hand. They're there to have a relationship with you. If it's symbiotic, if you can benefit from them and they can benefit from you. And sometimes that relationship is going to be unequal. They're probably going to benefit more.
Ain't no symbiotic relationship with America. It's unequal, period.
Yeah, usually it's going to be unequal because you don't have the leverage as African nations because you don't have what. But the point,
you have the leverage.
What leverage?
No, you don't. If you talk about minerals and you talk about, we have this kind of mineral, we have this kind of natural resource. If America leaves you with it, you can't do anything with it. You can't refine it. You can't turn it into finished product. It's
Yeah,
pretty
you wanna
much
eat
useless
that?
in your hand.
Yeah, Niger, they wanna eat
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You know
but
what they're doing?
was it Gaddafi changing all that?
What, I mean, come on, Dennis. What was
What is he
Gaddafi
gonna
doing?
do? What's gonna
What was he
Gaddafi gonna do?
refining? Gaddafi had oil. That's something that's naturally occurring
Okay.
in that Middle
Okay.
East region.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Having oil is different, right? Oil is the only mineral that most people will come to your nation and help you refine because it's so valuable and it's so in demand on the world stage. But cobalt, and coltan, most of these African nations can't refine those things and make it useful.
Yeah.
So only the Western countries can use them.
But if you look at the relationship between the West and Africa, even with slavery, I mean, how can you use that to justify Gaddafi getting assassinated by the West?
Because you got to remember what was going on during that time. It was the Arab Spring. People wanted to get up from underneath the thumb of the dictators that was in the Middle East. Gaddafi was trying to be hard-headed. He knew that the West already had a target on him. Instead of trying to find diplomatic means to deal with his people, he tried to use military means. And the United States took that opportunity in the West, especially Britain, because that Lockerbie bombing, like I told you about, I think it happened in either Scotland or in the UK, somewhere in the UK. So they already had a gripe with him. So if you are a leader and they see weakness and you have a weak point, they're going to take you out. They're not your friend. They're not there to keep Gaddafi in power. Somebody who has gone against them and threatened them and even committed acts of violence on their sword. They're not gonna be in his best interest. So I don't care about Gaddafi. Gaddafi is not a hero to me. And Libyans are quite very, very racist. Maybe you can say outside of Gaddafi, who was friendly. They were selling black African slaves in Libya after Gaddafi died.
Elvis, how did we get over here to America, Elvis?
You said what?
How did we get over here? Well, not you, but how did we get over here to America, Elvis?
When you say we, what do you mean we?
It's just very odd how you guys have this energy for Libya, but not for America.
What are you talking about?
I don't even understand what you mean by that, Dennis.
What do you mean what I'm talking about? You guys have
the misconception. Most people understand that the United States is a mixed bag. They've intervened in a lot of countries, not just in Africa, in South America, in North America here. They've intervened in a lot of countries' affairs. So it's not just Africa. We understand what the United States is. But when people have this wrong conception of Gaddafi, that's why we're trying to put the light on some of the things that he did and how he destabilized Africa, especially in West Africa and in South Africa. So that's the point I was trying to make. I'm not saying America is perfect. Definitely not.
America, they did more to destabilize Africa than Gaddafi.
Yes, they did.
So what's this defense of America?
Nobody.
It's not about defending America. It's trying to clear the air on Gaddafi, who many people think is a hero, and I'm trying to tell you he's not a hero. And I think Ola agrees with me.
You guys are defending African counterman. Go ahead.
Not about defending. Not
African counterman. Go ahead.
Defending.
All right, yeah. And how you doing, Dynas? And I really like that profile picture that you got. It's some really nice architecture. In the background that you got. But my whole thing is. But by the way, where was our picture taken, Dynas?
That's in Mali, Jenny.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The arc. That's one of the places that I'm thinking about. Reading up on and studying more. But the architecture behind you, man, is spot on, man. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, and it just shows.
Can you get on topic, please?
Yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead and get on topic. But my whole thing is this: is that, and by you being a Pan-African Dynas, I think one of the things that I consider myself a Pan-African too. But one of the things that we as Pan-Africans, I think we should consider is we need to get together some sort of like organization that we can like put money into or we can fund that can be like a think tank, to basically to change like American foreign policy in Africa. Because when you think about it, this is what every other culture in this country does. They all have similar groups and stuff that that they use to advocate for their their country of origin and stuff towards U.S. government. And I think that we as Black Americans and as Pan Africans, we should do something similar instead of us, sitting back here and complaining about, what their policy has been, what they did in the past, what they did to, Patrice Lumumba, what they did to, the other brother in there was the president of Ghana. His name slips me. But the thing is, if that's something that we put resources into, and we take the time and go and we get, experts and lawyers and people who, Black people involved in geopolitical thinking, and we get them into an institute like that, I think it can make a difference. Well, what say you, Dynast?
No, I agree in regards to us coming together and put together the think tanks and engaging U.S. politics. But it's just the thing is, I think a lot of Pan Africans they're on this anti-politics diatribe.
Well, I don't really want to deal with those people. I want to deal with the people that are serious about the situation. And if you're serious, you have no problem putting together resources stuff to create a body like this. And this is just something that's that I've thought in my head. I haven't put it into action yet. But if we go and we get international lawyers, we get people who like Susan Rice, she was excellent. Susan Rice, I believe she was a foreign policy expert. I think she was a Secretary of State under Obama. She was a foreign policy expert under Obama. But if we get people like that and we recruit them to our cause and say, hey, we're an organization and we would like to lobby the U.S. government to have improved relations.
That lady don't like Africans.
Well, brother, hold on. I'm not done yet, brother. And I think that would be a good start. And like I said, it's just in the idea phase now. I haven't put it into action yet, but it's just something I wanted to run by everybody. I think it's something that could gain traction if you get the right people involved.
Yeah, I agree. Free game. Go ahead, free game. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself, free game.
So, Dynast.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is the long-term effect or the effect of American intervention in Africa?
It's been negative.
So we was talking about Nigeria earlier, and they was talking about America helping them. Eventually, it's going to become a problem.
Well, I'm not for it at all.
But going back to the topic at hand, this why I was just on Instagram, and somebody posted a $500,000 house in Texas. Damn, it was a mansion, and it was $500,000 versus California. It can be $2 million. So Black women was in the comments talking about posting the house. This is a post of real estate. They on a post talking about what about women's health care, free health care. I like the house, but I can never live in Texas because of the politics. This why African people, it don't matter how much gripe we have between each other, Black Americans and Africans, African people align more with Black men's views than Black American women do. And that's why people are leaving. That's why I support Kenya, Africa, Nigeria. That's why you see a lot of Black American men moving out. Because it's nonsense.
You know what they say about real estate, right? It's about location, location, location. And it's about the quality of life in that location.
Well, hold on, one mic, free game. Are you done? Free game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're going to look at the schools, you're going to look at the hospitals, you're going to look at the healthcare system in that area, the economy. So a lot of people, why Texas is cheaper But for some people, the quality of life is not up to their standards. So those are just people who have a preference, and maybe they don't want to go there because, you know, they don't like the laws when it comes to women reproductive rights. You know, those are people's opinions. You have to respect it. I mean, everybody can't agree with you.
That's why Dinus just pointed that out in the post. Family. African people are worried about family. Our women are worried about killing the family.
No, they want to have a choice. If they can't afford to have a child because the father is not going to be around, they shouldn't be forced to have that child. Do you agree with that?
No, you laid your ass down. You gonna have a baby.
There you go. So you can't force them. You can't force them to have a baby they don't want to have, and that's the issue.
This why countries like Nigeria have over 200 million people, and Black Americans been stuck at 40 million for 20 years. This the reason why.
You think they don't have abortions in Nigeria?
Man, look. This is why America politics and Black people at the conditions they at versus countries like Nigeria keep expanding. This is why, because we support nonsense. We get everything for free over here: free housing, free food, free healthcare. But God damn it,
you get free housing. You get free housing and free healthcare.
From who?
No, I don't want free housing and free healthcare.
A lot of people don't. A lot of people pay for it through their job, and a lot of people pay for housing. If you're below a certain income threshold, then you get subsidized housing. A lot of people don't get free housing; they get subsidized housing if they're underneath a certain threshold in terms of income. So don't just say a blanket statement like that.
Have you ever paid for abortion before?
Have I ever what?
Paid for it in abortion.
I've never paid for it, but I did it. Somebody when I was like 18 years old who got pregnant, she had an abortion because we wasn't ready for a child, and that was the right decision.
But people.
Yeah, I'm telling you, as an 18-year-old, I didn't even know what it meant to be a man at that time. Do you think I would have been there for my kid? No, I had my first child in my 20s, in my mid 20s, and I was more prepared then.
You was in Nigeria at the time?
I was right here in Minnesota.
The reason why, because you ain't in Nigeria. Black American people have prolonged adolescence. We do not grow up on the average pace of our grandparents used to grow up. Our grandparents used to have kids early. What's wrong with us?
Let me pass the mic to Econ Fire. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Econ.
Yeah. Hello, Dinus, and hello to everyone else.
Yes.
I want to address Mr. Elvis. I agree with you about Gaddafi, but about this present subject, you do know that abortion is an invention. Modern abortion, you do know that's an invention. And why would you promote something that wouldn't you call yourself a murderer? When that child that you said you killed, wouldn't you call yourself a murderer? Don't you know that in the real world you should have done life? You and that woman should have done life.
You're
for
an idiot.
Killing a
You're
human.
an idiot, actually. You're an idiot.
Elvis,
A zygote is not a child. A zygote is not a child. If you put that thing outside of the womb of a woman, it won't survive.
One voice.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, Elvis, let him talk.
Now, this is what I have to say, right? This type of induced behavior that the West is giving to Black people, it is targeted to us. 20 million babies since the 1980s, 70s. 20 million Black babies. That means Black America should have been 120 million people today. You feel me?
It was 60 million.
Hey, free game. Let him go ahead. Go ahead, Econ Fire.
So what I'm saying is now, what gives you the right to enjoy the world and to decide that someone else should not enjoy the world like how you enjoying it? Why are you so greedy, thinking that you alone supposed to eat and you alone supposed to enjoy a waterfall?
because a child who's living in poverty have a higher chance of going to prison and being murdered.
Let me interject real quick. Hold on, one mic. And I would admit I've paid for abortions in the past too. Like I regret it. I would never do it again.
Thank you, Dinah.
I would
for
never,
being a man about it.
I regret it, and I would never do it again. But I have paid for abortions in the past. So are women who claimed that it would have been my baby. But there's one situation I'm like, okay, that was somebody else. But anyway, that's another story. But I have, and I regret it. But Elvis, I mean, come on, bro. You support men playing female sports, abortion. Okay, well, I mean, goddamn, Elvis.
Have some boundaries.
You're being ridiculous. You know, there was a girl who was playing quarterback for a high school team. You think that was evil? That this girl was playing quarterback?
No. Okay, there's a difference between.
Okay, there you go.
Elvis, there is Elvis, but there's a difference between grown ass men playing in female sports versus you might have that woman who might play quarterback or kicker on a football team. You can't compare the two.
I want to ask.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Econ.
Yeah, just a couple more things, right?
And then I want to get back on topic. I want to after this. I want to get back on topic. But go ahead.
Okay, the lunatic, the crackhead. Does none of them want to die? No, all of them still want to live. Even they eating in the garbage, they still wouldn't want you to get rid of them. You feel me? And so what I'm trying to say to you is, even if the child grows up in poverty, the child that grows up in poverty still prefers that than you deciding that they shouldn't have been born. So we need to check ourselves really and understand that we're talking about destroying humans that don't have a choice.
So do you think if a woman got raped, or was a victim of incest, should still have a child after that? And
put it up for adoption. You don't have the right to kill. You don't have the right to kill.
That, bro.
I don't agree.
You don't have the right to kill. You don't have the right to kill.
When does a zygote become conscious? That's the question, right? When is a quote unquote a zygote becomes conscious?
Not because someone is unconscious, you take advantage of them, Elvis.
I mean, you're just talking nonsense, bro. If a woman is 3 weeks pregnant, is that baby viable?
Elvis,
is it a human being?
Elvis, you are supposed to protect the weak.
You're not understanding what I'm saying to you. A 3-week-old pregnancy, is it a human being?
Yes, a helpless.
No, it's not. It hasn't even developed a brain. It hasn't even developed a lot of human parts. What are you talking about?
Okay. So we, in order to justify killing the thing, we have to eliminate it from being a human, dude.
But it's not a human being,
dude. You go study Margaret Singer.
Okay, then maybe you should. Maybe they should pass a law. If a woman doesn't want to have a baby at 3 weeks old, you can take it out of her, put it in an incubator, and maybe that baby develops into a human being. Through an incubator.
Why are you so caught up? Why are you so caught up like that?
People should have the choice whether or not they want to have a child.
Well, they should not go doing things. How about go traditional? How about go traditional? You're not supposed to have sex until you're married. That means you're married. You get married at 18, and you don't have to kill your children.
Oh boy.
Yeah, some people take that route, and other people think they're with a man who cares about them, and that man leaves, and they get pregnant, and they don't want to have a baby with them.
Let me pass the mic. Let me pass the mic to Dre. Go ahead, Dre.
Yes, sir.
So I guess to piggyback on this abortion thing, now I know this is a very touchy subject because, I know a lot of people feel like, oh, you're, eliminating a fetus and everything like that. But I think that there is a very nuanced conversation that I feel like needs to be had, even regarding abortion. Now I'm a little bit more on the pro-choice side because I can't tell a woman what she can and can't do with her body. But at the same time, I feel like as long as it's more safety driven, like, or if she practices the safe side of that, then I'm okay with that. But I don't. I might not agree with it all the way, but I feel like maybe preventative measures might be a thing to kind of combat that. But if a woman decides to do that, I'm not going to be quick to judge and quick to just chastise women for making that decision.
No, I am.
No, let's get back on topic.
Okay.
So you want to talk about why Kenya should support Donald Trump? Well, I don't think Donald Trump should really support Kenya because he doesn't support Africa in general. He basically is anti-Africa. He said that they were shithole countries. So why would Donald Trump support some continent like that, knowing that he said what he said about Africa?
And that's fine. I don't want Donald Trump to support. I don't want America involved in Africa at all. So that's fine with me. But like I said, I would always bring this up. Okay, Donald Trump called the African countries a shithole countries, but Barack Obama assassinated a leader, turned that African country into a shithole country, which spread throughout the Sahel. Like it's laughable to even compare it.
Yeah, Dinus, can I say something about that?
Go ahead, Econ.
Yeah, when it comes to Donald Trump, maybe he would just take out the all his military out of Africa and decide that, listen, I'm not.
I don't think he'll do that all the way. I hope he does, but he's trying to show he doesn't want involvement in Africa, which is fine with me. That's why I don't understand why Africans are complaining. But go ahead.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't know the devils that the Democrats are. They listen. We, the black males and the black males of Africa, need to be very worried because they are targeting us. We are at war, but they don't want us to know it. That's why that's why the abortion is being dictated to us. And it's catching people like Elvis, who killed his warrior son. You feel me? So what I'm trying to tell you is they're trying to turn us into these type of people. What does this have
to do with Kenya?
Yeah, let's get back on top. Let's stop.
Kenya is being targeted with homosexuality by the Democrats.
But what does this have to do with Trump supporting Kenya?
Nobody is going there and telling Kenyans to be gay. There are already gay people in Kenya, gay people in Uganda. They just want their rights to be protected.
No, man. There's an advertisement going on, dude. These people are advertising to black people.
So African has a gay nature that when they see an advertisement, they become gay. Is that what you're saying?
Do people make people straight? I mean, that's just what I'm saying.
Right. I mean, it's so dumb.
No.
Nobody's gonna tell me to be gay and I'll be gay. Bro, you're either gay or you're straight. It's that simple. Bro, there are gay people in every country and every continent on this planet. What are you talking about?
One voice, Elvis. Hold on, Elvis. One voice, Elvis. So you're telling me that, Elvis, children cannot be manipulated? Elvis, go ahead.
Children cannot be manipulated into being gay?
Yeah. Yes, Elvis.
Nobody's manipulated into being gay.
Right. That's why I want to know. I want to see the signs behind it, that somebody can tell a kid, don't like women, like men. And let's see how that works.
Go ahead, Dinah.
I think people do this to reinforce their homophobic acts towards people who are gay.
I disagree. I think kids are impressionable and they could be steered in certain directions. Absolutely.
Bro, I cannot believe this Democrat called Elvis and this other one. What are you people promoting?
I'm sure maybe Dennis, you have gay friends in Atlanta. You think they were pressured into being gay?
Well, no. So I know. So I've actually had this conversation with some of them. Some were abused as children. Some were curious. But I think a lot.
You want to tell me that? You want to tell me that?
Let me answer the question, bro. Just be quiet. Let him answer.
I already answered. I just answered it.
Yeah. I know
so
when to start.
Gay because they're either abused or curious, right?
Be quiet. Let me talk. Be quiet. Let me talk.
I'm just telling you what I was told.
Elvis, be quiet. Let me talk.
Look, bro, this is not an argument between you and myself, man. The reality is most people are born gay. Those who are gay, especially in Africa, where they're going to be a minority and targeted, they don't want to be gay. But that's their sexual preference.
I disagree with the whole, and I don't know. I disagree with the whole born gay thing. There's
Elvis, you're a liar, man.
Yeah, there's no gay.
Right now,
we don't know for sure.
Bro, there are animals who engage in homosexualities.
I see you don't want to. I see you don't want to.
I mean, you're not allowing me to talk. People being born straight. Nobody's really born with a sexuality until they
allow me to
figure out what they like.
Bro, Elvis, man, you are. Oh goodness.
What are you saying, Dennis? What did I say wrong? There's gayness in animals.
Elvis, I'm just listening to you. Like, so you support women in sports. I mean, it's just God dang, Elvis. Like,
I don't even know what you're talking about. I just told you that it's observable. Scientists has documented that there are animals who engage in same-sex relationships. In animals, not in human beings who are conscious. In animals.
We ain't animals, Elvis. We're not rats.
Elvis,
we are animals. We're a form of animals. We're a species of animals. Come on, Diners. You know that.
We're part of the primate family.
We're part of that.
Elvis,
a small percentage of a population is going to be gay. Anywhere around the world that you go, maybe between 1 to 5% is going to be gay.
People acting like
they got you.
Elvis, it's just weird because you defend all the dysfunctional shit. Like you defended.
I mean, Diners, look, we read the Bible. I'm a Christian. I read the Bible. They talk about Sodom and Gomorrah. Why do you think they talk about Sodom and Gomorrah if it wasn't a problem during those days? Homosexuality has been a problem for ages, for eons, since the beginning of the world.
Christians are gay. Most of them.
No, what I'm saying is, if you read the Bible, it's in the Bible.
Can you show me the stats?
So what I'm trying to tell you that this has been an issue for centuries and eons. This is not something that just came out because the West wanted it to happen. It's been happening for centuries.
We don't want you back in Liberia. We don't want you back in Liberia, bitch. Don't go back to goddamn Liberia.
What are you talking about, you idiot? What are you talking about?
Stay the fuck away. Stay away from Liberia.
There are gay people in Liberia too, you idiot. You think there's no gay people in Liberia?
How do you know that everybody wants to procreate?
You corrupt.
I'm corrupt. How am I corrupt?
Elvis, you date a white woman, don't you?
You're corrupt.
No, I've never did a white woman in my life. I'm a straight man. I have a family. I have kids. So I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Simply because I'm not a part of that lifestyle does not mean I can't see the science in it.
Elvis, hold on, one mic, Elvis. You are a full-blown, full-fledged sodomite all across the board.
What the hell?
Guys, do you even understand what that word means?
Elvis.
Yeah, you're a sodomite.
Oh my God.
A sodomite is a person who engaged in sodomy. I don't engage in sodomy. I'm not a sodomite. So
he's just trying to
saying that word.
And people are trying to leave
How am I promoting it? I'm saying there are gay people. That's a fact. There are gay people. Simple.
Yes, you are.
Elvis, you have absolutely no boundaries at all. It's just, God dang, Elvis.
What do you mean, Diners? I don't understand you.
I mean, okay.
I said I was engaged in an abortion. You've been engaged in an abortion. I said there are gay people on this planet. There are gay people on this planet. What do you want me to say?
It doesn't make it right, man. Like it doesn't make it right.
He didn't say. He never said it made it right.
I never said it was right. I'm just acknowledging that there are gay people here and in every country, on every continent.
Everything, like even with the women, the men.
I give you an example of a girl playing boys sports. It's sports, Diners. It's sports. So I don't understand it. Maybe they should have a league for transgender people who identify as males. They can have their own sports. You guys can figure it out. I don't care about those things.
I support that. I fully support that.
Right, and I would be fine with something like that. So I don't understand this whole idea. Like there are gay people. There are gay people in Liberia. When I was a kid in Liberia, there was a right. So what is this guy talking about? He did this whole idea that we as Africans we're not gay. There are a lot of gay Africans. In case you don't know it.
Yeah,
they just are closeted.
Right. There's a lot of gay Africans. So this guy who's trying to say that Africans are not gay, the West is the one that's bringing this into our community. It's not true. There's been homosexuality in Africa for centuries.
Evan, what is the benefit for representation and promotion of gay people in Africa?
What's the
Nobody's
benefit?
I'm not promoting that. I'm saying they should be protected.
them.
They should be protected. Their rights should having a sexual preference should be protected. Do you not understand that?
It's
If you're not raping underage boys or underage girls, your rights should be protected. If it's consensual, your rights should be protected. Do you agree with that?
No.
So you're against gay. You're against people who are gay.
The evidence is clear. The evidence is clear. The people.
I am. They are enemies.
Whoa, Mike. Go ahead. Free game. Go ahead, free game.
They are liability on the system. They always sick. They always having mental health issues. They always raping kids. The evidence is there. It's even.
But straight people do the same thing. It's not exclusive to them.
For straight people molesting and abusing people.
So you don't think?
Are you out of your mind? There are more straight people who molest and who are pedophiles than gay people.
No, it's not.
You're trying to equate the LGBTQ community with pedophilia, and that's not a fair argument.
Do you know boys in America get
molested more? Where you get? There are more heterosexual rape and abuse in this country than same-sex rape and abuse. What are you talking about?
You know boys get molested.
That's across the board. It doesn't matter what sexuality.
Right.
Hold on. Do you know boys get molested more than girls in America?
I didn't know that, but if you have the facts, I want to see it.
Predators out there too. I think you're neglecting the fact that female predators exist.
No. I said, do you know that?
Where are you getting that fact from? If it's a fact, it's a fact. I'm not going to argue it, but I don't know that. So if you're saying it's a fact, then fine.
At one point, it was more boys getting molested than girls. All right, and it was becoming even.
So who
you think are molesting these boys? Every boy is being molested. 95% is another male.
Where are you getting your facts from? I want to see this. Is this from the CDC? Where are you getting it from?
Okay, if somebody molests a boy,
where are you getting your facts from? If they're scientifically proven, I would agree with you.
Can I say something?
Guys,
I would expect more girls to get to actually be molested, since they're the more vulnerable group.
Let me pass it to Johnny. Johnny, go ahead, Johnny. Unmute yourself, Johnny.
Hey, what's going on, you guys?
Go ahead.
I just want to make a quick little mention. Everybody's kind of getting kind of antsy and everything. We're kind of talking a lot about social issues. I was wondering if we could pull it back towards the conversation with Kenya and Trump, kind of talk about his effect on Africa.
But Johnny, this is Mike. This is kind of connected because whenever Republicans are in office, they never go to Africa leading with the LGBTQ agenda. Only Democrats do that. Obama did that in Kenya, and Kamala Harris did that when she recently went to Ghana.
Okay.
So the reason why
free game. Let Johnny. Are you go ahead, Johnny? You can respond, or if you want to talk, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I don't know how that's. I mean, everybody kind of stands. It seems like for equal rights.
Right.
Everybody don't stand for equal right. There are guys on this panel who say that there shouldn't be gay people.
What kind
of shouldn't be allowed to be gay?
Have on the politics,
I don't think nobody said that.
As far as the politicians, or
I guess it's felt like
I'm saying that.
And then a little bit about if it is a bad thing, we have American imperialism going on.
So Dinus, the reason why Trump is wanted in Kenya is because when Trump was in office, of course, if America doing good, a bunch of countries are doing good as well, and that's just the fact. So Kenya had it easier financially. They was able to secure their jobs more when Trump was in office. When Kamala and them got in office, for some reason, Kenya just went down.
That's just a lie.
All right.
Oh my God!
Tell Kenya to vote for Trump. Tell them to vote for Trump.
So let me ask you this: if America is doing good financially, is it not true that multiple countries would do well financially as well?
I don't even understand when you say when America's doing well.
America
any fiscal gain that we had was wiped out by COVID and Donald Trump irresponsibility on how he handled COVID.
Oh my God, bro!
The entire war went into recession because of that. You understand that, right? Inflation skyrocketed.
That happened in China.
We're talking about something that happened in the United States. It was a global epidemic or
Where did
pandemic.
COVID start? Where did COVID start?
Where a virus started doesn't mean that's the end point. It spreads. We're in an international
Dude,
world.
Biden cut off American oil. What are you talking about, stupid?
You said what?
Biden stopped America from drilling their own oil.
Yeah,
You forgot?
because unlike you, idiot, it has an adverse effect on the environment. You live in the United States. It's going to bring more earthquakes. It's going to bring more flooding. It's going to bring a lot of seismic actions.
Hold on, earthquakes.
Drilling and digging deep into the earth. Do you not know what that costs?
Okay,
Come on, man.
Okay, so where's all these
Environmentalists has had studies on it, Dinus.
What, Mike? So where's all these earthquakes in Nigeria and Saudi Arabia, the Middle East?
What about
earthquakes?
We're not fracking there.
Dinus, there's a massive pollution in the Niger Delta region.
You said earthquake. You said
the fishery. I mean, there's like I said, that adverse.
Let me put up Elvis. You said earthquakes, Elvis. You said earthquakes. You said earthquakes. Guys.
Elvis act like houses is around the mining
Dinus,
drills or something.
I want to inform you something, Dinus. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Elvis. Go ahead, Eco.
I want to inform you something, Dinus.
Go ahead.
Ever since you have your channel, Elvis is here. Elvis is a Democrat plant. He's being paid.
Oh,
I'm not being paid, but I am a Democrat. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
What is your problem with it? You want your safe space? I should get out of here so you guys can be in an echo chamber. Is that what you want? You need a safe space.
You need to find you a gay tolerant channel.
Oh boy.
You see that you're an idiot, bro. You're a bigot also, bro. I live in the United States almost my entire life. Gay people don't bother me at all. They don't have any effect on my life. I live my life with, whether somebody is gay or not, it has no effect on me. What effect does it have on you?
What people do in the bedroom.
Yeah, most of the guys who are anti-gay, you see a lot of Republicans. They preach about anti-gay. They turn out to be gay.
You supporting these people have
How am I
influence
supporting
on
them?
young
I said
men.
their rights should be protected. Their rights should be protected. It's that simple.
They don't
I'm not
have
telling you to be
rights.
gay or not to be gay. If you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not. What am I protecting?
You are a man. Hold on, man. Let me talk. You are a man. You get the protection of a man. You trying to make a different species. Don't have no rights.
What are you talking about? Say that again. Try to be more coherent. Say that again.
Elvis want a continuous socialist system where equality, freedom, all this stuff that have nothing to do with freedom. It have nothing to do with progression. You're trying to bring to Africa the shit that's going on in America, knowing that America is in a down spiral, especially the black community, and you want these people basically to roll off the system because that's what they're going to do. The gays in America get sick with the best technology, the best medicine. You want that shit to go to Africa. These people are passing around diseases left and right, and that's what you want.
What I'm telling you is there's been gay people on this planet for eons. There will be gay people on this planet in the next 100 years. Their rights should be protected. Simply because they are gay, they shouldn't be discriminated against or attacked or killed. That's my point.
My point
I agree. Hold on, one mic.
I have a question.
Hold on. Elvis, I'm for rights for everyone, but I mean, there's so many more pressing issues in Africa versus what people do in their bedroom. And I just don't understand. The United States of America is the only country that when they go to Africa, that's the first thing they lead with, which is just weird.
Them people going Elvis. Okay, if they go to Africa, they spread around diseases and HIV like they do in America. You need to be the first person helping them.
Have a gay man give you HIV before?
No, because I'm not protecting. You know that community have high rates of STDs, Elvis. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. How does that affect you? How does it affect you? You're not part of that community. It doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect you. What are you worried about?
They're gonna be sick and can't work, Elvis. They can't work. They're sick. Your family got to take care of them.
Your family got to take care of it. You got gay people in your family?
All right, guys,
yeah.
Guys, let me pass the mic. Judge Drez. Go ahead, Judge Drez.
Good afternoon, panel, host. I just got a real simple question. Then I ain't gonna be up here too long. Maybe y'all covered. I'm just new to it. I saw it in my feed. I don't know if y'all covered. But what does Kenya expect any American president to do for them that they can't do for themselves in their own country?
Thank you.
Let me answer that. It's not what they can do, it's if they leave our people alone. That's the problem. Because you see, the whole problem, a lot of people act like somebody need America. Now we need America to leave our people alone, bro. So get that in mind. That's our focus. That's our focus.
Why did African leaders, do a summit with the Biden administration back in 2021?
Exactly.
Because they are puppets. Because those are puppets.
No, because they realize that they need the United States. So what you're saying is just not true.
What, Mike? That's not true. That summit was completely reactionary because of the inroads that Russia and China is making in Africa. When what came from that summit is like less than one like the pledges that came from that subject is equivalent that summit is like less than one small infrastructure project in Africa by China. Like nothing came from it. Again, it's completely reactionary.
In regards to Kenya, Diners, they benefit so much in terms of security. The United States have helped them to fight Al-Shabaab in that region along with Uganda, and they've given them military support and logistic and intelligence. And that's why you don't see terroristic attacks in Nairobi and Mombasa like we saw in 2010s and in the early 2010s. You don't see those anymore because the United States has helped Kenya and Uganda to fight off Al-Shabaab coming from Somalia. So the United States have helped that region and that country, in particular Kenya, tremendously when it comes to their security. So they benefit, benefit from the U.S.
Okay.
Is America really?
Hold on, Judge. Econ's about to ask a great question. Who created?
Who created ISIS?
What brought up Al-Shabaab?
Yeah, who created ISIS and Al-Shabaab? Al-Shabaab, dude. Is he reactionary?
Oh Lord of mercy.
Are you saying the United States created them?
Yes, you didn't know that? You want me to give you the history, the rundown?
We know what happened in Somalia. We know about that.
No, it's not. It didn't start in Somalia. It started when Russia was in control of Afghanistan, and the United States armed Afghanistan fully, and they was called.
We know that. We know the history.
And they was called ISIS. That was called ISIS.
No, it wasn't called ISIS then. The United States supported the Mujahideen. Get your history fact.
Those are the people who formed ISIS.
That wasn't ISIS.
ISIS was a splinter group from Al Qaeda.
Let me pass it back to Judge. Go ahead, Judge Red.
That wasn't ISIS, brother. Osama bin Laden was a whole different group. ISIS is something new. But it seems as though, from what I seen new, I haven't been to Africa. I don't know a whole bunch of Africa, but I grant you that. But seems y'all problem with China and France shaking y'all down and all that there. Does America really interfere with Africa in these modern days as to even warrant y'all worrying about what America?
Let me ask you something. Why are they doing in Niger? How come they was excavated out of Niger? Dude, go ahead. Answer, Mr. Perfect. Mr. Know-it-all. Sorry about the noise.
No need to be rude, brother. I'm asking the question. I said I don't know that much about African politics, right? There's no need for all that there. I'm trying to figure out why any African country.
America has maybe
you want the white man to save you. That's what it sounds like to me. That's what I get from the thumbnail. So I can only go by what the title is. And this is the problem we have in America with people like y'all, man. Y'all bootleg so much, bro. Y'all don't want nobody in charge of your country. Seems like you have a whole history of that already. You do your own thing, bro. Y'all got all the resources. You got your own country. That's something we don't have.
Bro, let me tell you this.
Why you need white folks to tell you what to do? That's what I'm getting at. That's my point. And I'm going to land my plane right there. I'm gone, man. Holla at y'all.
The biggest problem in Africa is a lack of African leadership. countries like Nigeria, maybe now Kenya, and maybe South Africa. Those are the countries that should be playing the role that the United States is playing in Africa. The lack of leadership from great African nations is what's causing a lot of African nations now to suffer. If we had a great power, structure in the likes of South Africa, Nigeria, and maybe Kenya, in Sub-Saharan Africa, who was going to be leading the security of our entire sub-region in Sub-Saharan Africa, and would be funding it, because one of the things that's going to require a strong security sector in Africa is funding. You need a lot of money, billions of dollars, to fund a military apparatus in that region. So if these countries are not taking the helm, they're not leading the other less fortunate African countries in terms of security and intelligence, the United States is going to come in and play a role, and they're going to use that to their advantage. That's the problem.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, and it's not like the place is a total vacuum. I mean, Nigeria do some stuff. I mean,
hold on, real quick. Where are you located?
Me?
Uh-huh.
Why is it important to the situation?
I'm asking, where are you located?
Why is it important?
It's okay. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer. Go ahead.
Okay, all right.
I'm located in America, in Atlanta.
Okay, so okay. The whole thing about abortion, it just got me rattled and all this all nonsense, and that's why I don't want to be a Pan-African or not be a Pan-African, because it seems like you guys just want to gather people that think in one dimension only, like we got to be this, we got to be that, we got to be.
Don't be a Pan-African. I mean, if you want to support abortion, that's fine. Don't be a Pan-African. It's okay.
I mean, it's not about supporting abortion. If I went to medical school, even though I'm not a doctor, I know you have.
Where you going to medical school at?
Huh?
Where you going to medical school at?
I won't tell you.
that is, we got another evil land. He doesn't want to divulge all this information. You don't know if this guy have legal status and shit.
I'm just asking where he's located. That's all. Just the country. I was just interested. But go ahead.
You have to support women. I mean, you're not in their body. You don't know how they feel. You don't know any of that story, but you want to control what they do with their body. I mean,
can I say something?
Having kids since the beginning of time. Stop complaining about having kids.
Yeah.
Your grandma
can I say something?
About having kids.
You know what they did in Africa when it came to family planning. Family planning was a big risk of poverty in Africa.
Let somebody else speak, Elvis. Damn. Let me say something about this woman protection. All of you talking about. We as men have to stand up for our continent and protect our continent so that our women can be comfortable. Our women have these little issues that y'all talking about. If our women have problems raising kids, protect your country so that your country can be wealthy, that your woman will be safe having kids. These are the solutions, not get rid of them so you won't have an army, you dumb stupid people.
Okay.
I mean, you're so stupid. You think just pushing out a kid, that's all to it? You have to be able to take care of that kid. There are many people who are living in abject poverty can barely take care of themselves.
Yeah,
they don't want to bring kids into the world that's probably going to die from malaria. Come on, man.
All our grandparents was poor, bro. That's not an excuse.
Having kids you can't take care of is irresponsible. Having kids you don't have the means to take care of is irresponsible.
It's called life.
It's gonna be irresponsible.
Somebody's gonna be rich. Somebody's gonna be poor. That's not.
There you go. That's if you have 10 kids, one of them is probably gonna be rich, right? If you have 10 kids, the chances of one being rich is high, right?
Elvis,
let me ask you a few questions.
That's
Elvis. Let me ask you a few questions. The Nama people, the people in Ethiopia, the Omo Valley people, they shouldn't have no kids. Are those people poor?
If the women want to have 10 kids, they can have 10 kids. If the women don't want to have 10 kids, they should not have 10 kids. That's what we're for. We're for pro-choice. Having the choice to have a child or not. That should be your choice as a woman.
Hold on, man.
Not about whether they should or shouldn't.
Right. It's about having a choice.
Okay,
bro. I'm saying you are wrong, man. That's not how life is, man.
What is life? Do the women should be forced to have 10 kids out of their will if they don't want to have 10 kids? That you have 10 kids, or even 3 kids if it's not economically viable for them. That you have more than 1 kid if they can't afford it. Is that what you're advocating for?
First of all, these are methods. These are instruments of the government. These are doctors preparing, doing these things. If it was made illegal, what if the doctors would lose their license to do this? What would happen, Elvis?
So you think abortion should be illegal?
No, yes, it should be illegal. So what I'm trying to ask you.
All right, now we know your point.
Go back to the
of course, I am pro-life, dummy.
Good, and I'm pro-choice. You know what pro-choice means? Pro-choice doesn't mean you're only for abortion. It means that if the woman want to have a child, they have the right to have that child. If they don't want to have that child, they have the right not to.
That's what pro-choice is. They always try to make it seem as if pro-choice is like it's for killing babies or whatever.
Right.
No. It's just all in the matter of if they want to decide to do that. It doesn't mean
what else is it for?
I'm sure Daniels understood that had he probably had those couple of kids
very myopic
at that time, his life was probably going to be more hectic, and he was probably going to be more impoverished.
In the words pro-choice, what does the word choice mean?
Meaning to choose between the different options, to choose for or to choose again.
Choose between death or life, right?
No, to choose between having a child who's going to probably grow up in poverty, maybe having a child with a man who's not going to be there. Black people in America already have a problem when it comes to absentee fathers. You want women to have more kids with more absentee fathers,
and when they become criminal,
then they go down to the prison system because there's no men in the home. Is that what you want? I mean, you gotta be rational, bro.
And your solution is kill them.
No, my solution is if you can have a child and you can care for that child financially, have them. If you can't, then don't. It's that simple.
No, when they become
criminal. So why do you care? Why do you care about the child when the child is born?
What are you talking about? I don't even understand the rationale there.
Why shouldn't they care?
The child that is born. Why do you care and try to protect it with your life?
What are you talking about?
Well, that's basically what parents do. They care for their children.
It's an innate instinct as a parent to want to protect your offspring.
Hold on. You don't care about you don't care about the unborn, but you care about when it's born.
That's not what I said. I said if a woman can take care of her child and she has the means and the support system and she feel like she can bring this child into this world, give him a better life, she can have the child she wants to. That's a decision that women make. That's a decision that women make. Men don't choose to have abortion. Women do.
Are you anti-birth control?
Women have chastity over their pussy.
What the fuck?
Men have chastity over their dicks. What are you talking about?
I mean,
do anybody force you to insert your penis into a woman without a condom? Does she force you to do it?
Yeah, but you don't force her.
It's your choice too.
Yeah, but she has
men don't get pregnant. Women do, so they decide if they want to have the baby or not. That's the
argument to justify controlling women's bodies.
She has to carry it, so she has more to stakes. She has more stakes, so she has more rights to keep her chastity. She could put chastity on her pussy.
But do you know how men get into women's drawers? You know the kind of thing that men do. They promise relationship, they promise a family, a future, they promise all kind of shit. And once that lady get pregnant, they dip. That's what most men do. And women feel helpless, they feel left alone, they're heartbroken. So they're not gonna have a child for a guy who lied to them and broke their heart. They don't want it. They don't want to do that. Most women don't.
Well, she should have stayed in the house and stopped running up and down on the street.
Oh, there you go. So it's the women's fault. You're one of those guys. It's all the women's fault.
What about she's the one going around talking up to everybody. That's not how a woman should do.
That's not even true. Most of the time, it's a guy who she's probably been dealing with for a couple months, or probably a year, and she gets pregnant.
Let me pass the mic. Go ahead, Justin. Go ahead. Unmute yourself, Justin.
Bro, I just came in, bro. I'm just listening to you guys. I just came. There's someone else talking.
Well, why'd you click on a link, Justin?
I can fire. Can I ask you this? Are you a Mujahideen from Afghanistan or something?
What?
What are you
So
talking
you're
about?
saying?
Are you a mujahideen?
No, I'm a black patriot, African royalty.
No, you're authoritarianism who wants to have dominion over the bodies of women and not women having their own agency over
So
themselves.
are you against birth control?
Yeah.
Oh my
Why would
gosh!
you be against that? I mean,
So
wouldn't it
women
be
should
more
just be popping
preventative
out babies
versus
no matter
getting an
what.
abortion? So you're against birth control?
First of all, women shouldn't be randomly fucking.
Oh God.
They shouldn't be, but some do, and then some. But then at the same time, though, you got to think in circumstances like incest and grape.
Yep.
That's 1%. That's 1%. That's 1%.
How do
That
you know it's
don't
1%?
even
Have
count.
you looked up the rape statistics or grape statistics?
Just asking, were you born in wedlock?
Let me
Were
tell
you
you
born in
something.
wedlock?
Let me-
Whatever your name is.
Hold on, let me say something. Let me say something. The reason why rape exists is because women are not marrying men.
Oh, shut up.
Shut the hell up, man. Shut the hell up with that stupid ass argument. What are you talking about?
Women probably would still get raped if they got married.
Most men, if they have their woman, they're not going around raping women.
Oh, so men rape because they don't have women. You know there are married men who rape.
Yeah. Hold on. One mic. Econ, I disagree with that, Econ.
Okay, Dynast.
I said most men.
Dynast.
Well, if you disagree, hold on. If you disagree, then that means you're saying that if you have a woman, then you would force yourself on another woman. Why would you do that? Why would a man do that?
Many men who rape already have other women. You think men rape because they don't have other women to have sex with?
We as men, think about us. We as men. All right. Some of us are even polygamous.
Are you a rapist, dude? Are you a rapist? Tell us now. Are you a rapist?
Hold on.
You're not answering. Have you raped somebody because you didn't have another one?
Let me talk, dude.
But yeah, Econ, I don't know about that, Econ. So Econ, you're saying that Econ, repeat that one. I just want to make sure I understand what you said. Unmute yourself. Don't yell. Just
Okay. All right. I'm not saying that married men would not rape, but that's 0.8%. You feel me? So
I got it. You have to provide the facts on that. But go ahead, keep going.
Nah, he just made that up.
Yeah, keep.
Okay. All right. Well, in the real statistics, when they hold men that does most sexual abuse, they are single men. They are not married men. You feel me? So what I'm getting to.
One mic, Econ. You gotta put some statistics or a link in the chat that proves that.
I don't have statistics.
You feel me? He just made it up. I told you.
One mic. Econ, if you're gonna make a statement like that, you gotta back it up. Go ahead, Justin.
Dynast, I don't know how this happened, but you know, like the way you just put up some caption and then it's like I come in and you guys are talking about something completely different.
Okay, Justin, go get back to topic. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like in this case, based on what I see in like the title of your video, it's like I'm thinking in my head, like, why should Kenyans support Donald Trump? Why in flip should Kenyans support Donald Trump? Because it's like, isn't he the one like literally in support of this whole thing with like William Ruto having the Kenyans pay taxes to actually fund their IMF debts, paying off their IMF debt specifically?
Trump's not in office.
Say that again.
Trump isn't in office.
Did you hear his campaign?
Okay, what did he say about Kenya in his campaign?
No, I'm asking you. Did you hear his campaign?
You brought up something.
You know, Trump.
Go ahead.
You know, Trump doesn't believe in like supporting other countries, right? Trump calls us shithole countries.
That's what I want. Though I want the West as least involved in African affairs as possible. So I support that absolutely.
Okay, yeah. If that's what, then that's good. Then if that's what you're thinking, then that's good. That's a fair point.
But Justin, if we say the West should not be involved in Africa, or yes, we have all the resources, are we gonna be eating our uranium and oil, drinking our oil? Huh?
See, bro, I knew you would bring up that leg. If that's what you want to bring up, I guarantee you we can do all those things about ourselves.
Oh, so
Especially with like if you actually bring the diaspora, like the Black Americans, in on the whole thing, because these guys are clearly not investing in Africa enough at all. I go to freaking ShopRite in Nigeria and it's full of Vietnamese and Chinese. There's not enough Black Americans investing in us. Can Negroes invest in Negroes? These guys have expertise, for goodness sake.
Yes, I believe what you're saying, but if we want to play the game, we got to go play it in full. We cannot eat uranium. It's not food. So when we deal with people,
Bro, let me tell you something, because I can school you completely on the nuclear industry in Nigeria. Do you know that in Nigeria we have a research reactor? Google this while I'm saying it. We have a research reactor in Kaduna, Ahmadu Bello University, with no accidents, nothing bad happening. We've been running it for years, actually decades now, actually.
Well, that's not what I'm talking to you about. I am talking
Because
to
you
you
are saying we will be eating our uranium. We can mine it by ourselves. We can process it by ourselves. We're not stupid in Africa now. Like, come on, bro.
That's
We are
not what
not still living in the jungle.
Still, that's not what I'm telling you about.
You're processing uranium in Nigeria. Ahmadu Bello University. Is that what you said?
No, let me.
That's not what I said. I said we have a research reactor.
Excuse me.
Oh,
Let
okay.
me let
Like
me
we
finish.
basically, I'm trying to prove to you that we have the expertise for all those if we wanted to. What I don't get, you see, this is why I say that these companies, these international organizations, they don't like Negroes. They allowed freaking Iran, I think you know this, Diners, to have a reactor.
Justin, this is what I'm saying. If you can, plant the crop, you can eat, and you can sell to your neighbors. You can collect their money. You can sell to people who are not your neighbors. You can collect their money. That is how Americans operate. You see what I'm saying? It's not about you can mine it for yourself. You bring that of the soil and you will eat it for yourself. It's not going to work. It's not going to get you anywhere.
Like you don't, bro. I don't think you're like understanding how this economic stuff works. Like we can still, like, nothing is stopping Africa from trading with the USA. Not Donald Trump and his government say he becomes president, not involving themselves in African issues does not necessarily mean they won't have trade with the USA. That's a different thing entirely. That's globalization. That's free market society.
Yeah, Mr. Principal. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you engage with the world on a global scale, you got to bring what you got, and they bring what they got. You got to use your brain. Use your brain. You cannot be insular. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You cannot be like protective kind of economic. That's like maybe Cuba. It doesn't work for them that good. They have highest number of doctors and all that shit. But where are they going with that stuff?
Bro, you're repeating what I just corrected. I'm saying we still can have like normal trade with them. It's not like our country is going to become communist once something like that happens. Because you mentioned Cuba. Cuba is a different society entirely. In Cuba, you have to go to a specific place to get internet because Cuba is all closed off from the rest of the world. But not entirely though, because nowhere is completely closed off from the rest of the world. But I'm saying like, you need to understand the worst one that happened in the past decade was when Obama was in charge. Me personally, like, sorry to all the other Negroes on this chat, but like, I don't like Obama. I've never really liked Obama.
I don't like him either. I don't like him either. Go ahead.
Exactly. I thought I was the only, I swear I thought I was the only one. I thought I was the only one, but thank God someone else doesn't. But like the fact that he was in charge when the whole Gaddafi thing happened, I do not like Obama at all. Like this guy was literally the world president when they were taking out one of our most revolutionary leaders in Africa.
Oh my God!
He didn't do shit.
He didn't do anything. What did he do for Nigeria? What did Gaddafi do for Nigeria?
Okay, guys, let me pass the mic to Cheetahs and Hippos. Go ahead, Cheetahs and Hippos. Unmute yourself. Cheetahs and Hippos, unmute yourself. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, Dennis.
Go ahead.
I agree to everybody. I don't think it really matters.
What does it matter?
It doesn't matter who is in power, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
Whether it's the Democrats or it's the Republicans.
yes, that's right. The agenda is set in stone. It doesn't matter who Republican or Democrat. They will just tell it's just a matter of like we Democrat and this.
Bro, let him finish. You don't need your ad lib. Let him finish.
Getting feedback.
Yeah, call back in, Cheetahs and Hippos. You got issues with your connection. G Love Cone, go ahead, G Love Cone.
Hey, Donis, what's up? How you doing, man?
Good, man. How are you?
Doing just well. Hey, not to get off topic, but you know we have a African team that's that's playing in the Olympics.
What, South Sudan? South Sudan?
What?
Yeah, South Sudan. My question to you is: did you hear what Gilbert Arenas say?
I'm gonna do a separate. I don't. I need to listen to what he said, but I'm gonna do a separate show on that.
Yeah, only reason I
saw
brought
that
it up
thing like 5 times
because
on my feed.
yeah, only reason I
He
brought it up
called them
because
he called them the Aki tribe.
Very
yeah, but the
Yeah,
funny
they don't got sneakers to wear.
Yeah, but the messed up thing about Gilbert Arenas is not even a Black American. His both
I think
parents
he's from
are
from
Cuban.
Caribbean.
Yeah, from Cuba, and I always found that kind of disrespectful.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so he's first generation. Yeah, he's
Arenas. Arenas is a Latin name. It's not a typical African American name.
Yeah. Then he made he was talking about Sudan. Then he brought Joe Embiid into the mix, saying, "Oh, he trying to help out his cousin." So he making it seem like anybody who was born, and he made a mistake also because not only Joe Embiid on that USA team, it's also got a little bit continental first generation. You got Bam
Adebayo.
Yeah. So it sounds it was so disgusting. I'm like, yo, no, I'm sorry for. I just thought. Oh, so you're gonna do a separate show on that? 'Cause I would love to be on that.
It's off topic. Yeah, we'll do a separate show on that.
Yeah, okay, that's what's up. But yeah, I'll
Let's
let
just
you guys.
say, if you have American citizenship, you're American.
But Cuba is a third world country. Where he come from?
Oh Lord.
His parents came from.
Right, and he has time to be discriminating. Really.
See what this brother brought up right here is it still means that a lot of Negroes in America, from America, they see our own side of the world in some type of way that I feel is part of the reason why you don't really see them investing in Africa as much as the white man,
of course,
as much as the Asian man. Like, bro, you need to go to like ShopRite and all these international places inside Nigeria. It's full of all kinds of Chinese, but you don't see much Negroes. You don't hear anybody.
A lot of African Americans don't want to be associated with Africa. People like to be associated with success
I'm glad
stories.
you said it, bro. You said it. You said it already. I'm glad you said.
You just fucking talk. Let me tell you, the Caribbean and Black America and blacks in Europe, they have a problem. They have a trauma towards Africa. That's why we don't have no. First of all, we have an animosity against
Jamaicans love Ghana. They love Africa.
Yeah. Jamaicans are pretty cool with us. They actually.
No. Of course. Hold on. Yes, they do. On certain level. You see me? But what I'm really talking about is
most of them are very Pan-African. But go ahead, I'll let you talk.
Bro, the government is British, is pro-British. You hear me? Jamaica government. It's pro-British.
They broke away from the Commonwealth, I think.
All right, listen to this. No, they're not. No, they haven't. All right, listen. Haile Selassie invited Jamaica to be a part of the OAU, the Organization of African Unity, back in those days. So if Jamaica was serious, they could have already been a part of the OAU, therefore a part of the AU. You feel me? But they did not take that advantage back in the late 60s and 70s. You feel me?
There's nuance to it, because being a part of that union means you have to pay dues. and perhaps it's not in Jamaica's best interest to be there because they're not on the continent. In order to get help, you got to travel overseas, and all of that. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Maybe they didn't listen, man. What I'm talking about is mutual critical things like transportation, like building a shipping industry to travel between the Caribbean and Africa through the AU or the OAU. These type of things. I'm not talking about small things like paying dues. You feel me? I'm talking about the things that could have happened back in slowly. You feel me? Slowly, small, back in those days, which never happened because Jamaica is the government of Jamaica is a colonial government. You feel me?
Jamaica hasn't been stable. Also, they've had a couple coups. They've had a couple of unrest in Jamaica. So it's not like they're a paragon of stability. They've been unstable themselves.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right, because America formulated a coup in Jamaica and put in a prime minister that fucking destroyed the country and turned us all into
like you are really making a point, brother. But I'll be honest with you. Let me tell you the truth. You see that whole AU thing, it really doesn't even matter, because if you know anything about African politics, you know that the AU in itself is a joke, realistically speaking. It's a joke.
Yeah, but what happened? But you see when the name changed. You see when the name changed. That is when
you're only as good as the sum of your parts.
Hey guys,
African countries are not doing anything. That's why the OAU is weak, because the African countries themselves are weak.
Hey guys, we're gonna close out. Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. Dynasty Research. Hey,